Well, hello everybody. First and foremost, I want to thank the Sports Writers Association of Ghana and the Secretary General, Mr. Charles Osesibe, for calling me and then asking me to share my experience as far as Accra 2023 is concerned. Um, my personal view on this is, it's such a great platform, great opportunity for Ghana to host this competition and to have all the African nations coming to our dear country. For me, it's historic and it's an opportunity that we shouldn't let slip by. A lot of people would have loved to have this happen during their time as journalists, in our country, and it's happening this particular time. In the recent, historical context, the African Games has always been riddled with controversies. Can remember Maputo 2011, can remember Congo 2015, Morocco 2019 for me was the tilting point in a sense. Morocco really did a good job hosting the competition. From Ghana's perspective, I think also the emergence of the male 4x100 relay team in Morocco, Rabat, changed the whole atmosphere around athletics. Once people could now see all the job that had been done over the years. So with regard Accra 2023, what should we as journalists do, to make this truly remarkable historic, occasion for all of us? In my experience as press attaché for Rio 2016 Olympics, London 2016, going back to the Africa Games, African Youth Games 2014, Commonwealth Games 2014, Glasgow, and all that, I would say that as a journalist, you always need to know your facts around these events. It's multi-sport. It's not just football. You have athleticism there, you have boxing, and you even have this other, demonstration they'll be doing for some other sports that they are introducing, which is a really good thing. So for you as a journalist, you need to get a handle of it. What are the terminologies? How do they score? The qualification processes. For instance, we've known for a long time that maybe we just do the qualification rounds and go to the knockout rounds. We go through. As a football journalist, we normally we look at things from those, perspectives. But every sport and how they do their thing. I remember 2014 at the Africa Youth Games in Gaborone, that's Botswana. That's when I got to grips with weightlifting, clean and jerk, the snatch, how they're able to compute, the various weights that the athletes are able to lift, and in the end come up with a score. But a lot of these sports, even before they start competing, everybody knows who's going to win. They know at least the categories of athletes. I remember London 2012, we had Albert and my 16-year-old weightlifter going with the national team. And a lot of people were thinking she was going to go there to win the medal. When the event started, she was not even part of the A or B class people. So it was more like preliminary stuff. Some we call it the wild card. She was given a wild card. So Ghana get a representation. So weightlifting could tell the world that, oh, we're trying to help other nations to get to this level. That's how she competed. Just the initial rounds. And once they were done, they were off it. And then the big girls got on the stage. So always that talk about we're going to win a medal. We're going to be on the podium. It tends to overcloud everything that we do. And then when we don't get the medals, then journalists, the sporting public goes after the athletes. I think we really have to be objective with this. This is early part of the year. And athletics normally we peak around March, April, they're going. I've seen Azamati, Joseph Paul, Amor coming down from the competition. Now I'm looking at their recent performances. It's more like the indoor. It may not be hitting those targets you want them to hit this early part of the year. So the moment we start talking medals, I get a little bit, worried. We need to be able to do a holistic, objective analysis of our team versus the rest of the African continent, and then be able to paint a picture to the public so we don't overraise that expectation. Historically, we've not done well with preparation for games, but we've had some successes in recent times. At the Commonwealth Game 2022, Rabat 2019, and so I'm sure expectations will just go skyrocketing again. That is where our objectivity comes in. Know their records, know their recent performances before you stake a claim, before you start raising those expectations. How prepared are we as a nation getting these teams prepared for the games? All these things come to play. Beyond this, these games also present a very good opportunity for us to do human interest stories. I remember Christian Amwan, the weightlifter, before Rio, I did an interview with him and he was telling me about, as we say, quote unquote, cracking stones. His family would go out there to the quarry, get these large stones, break them up into pieces, sell them to be able to make ends meet. So for a guy like this, getting to the Olympics, and the area is from, it was Ablekuma, it's such a huge thing. You all of a sudden open a window, open a door to these youngsters in that locality who will now be thinking, hey, I can also get to the Olympics. So selling their human interest stories. Abeku Jackson and his dad, I mean, it's a whole family of Jacksons and swimmers. And they've been doing this for years, Mr. Jackson. Talk about their teams, what they've been doing all these years. At Birmingham, at Legon, Sharks, and there's a whole lot of stories always around them, which will interest a lot of people. So if we focus and not, you know, make everything about the medals, but about the human interest, where these athletes have come from. Maybe somebody from Choco-Chimwena. I remember I stayed in Choco-Chimwena when I was in Accra initially, my early years. If somebody comes from that locality, a boxer, an athlete, and is able to get to this stage representing the nation, and you talk about this on radio, on television, what it means, the value of this. We've seen this done at London 2012, where season bests and personal bests were being celebrated by the nation. And recognizing that an athlete has been able to do a performance that is better than the ones they brought to the competition. I remember Osaji in the 800 meters, London 2012. He didn't win the competition, was about fourth. BBC was celebrating this guy. While the Kenyan guy, Rudisha, who had broken a 19-year-old record, was not even celebrated. We eventually had to bring the guy back, the Kenyan back, to also be interviewed by the BBC. So it's more about brand Ghana. Let's make it about our nation, about the development, about people going beyond their limits, despite the meager resources we're giving them to prepare. And then when we're able to get onto the podium, then we even have a bigger story to tell. There's also one key. If you do this and look at the bigger picture and we're able to celebrate them, you as a journalist, the public, see the value in the thing. And then we all don't get, in the end, overburdened by that sort of talk. When you repeat it over the radio over and over, people may even end up not going to the games again. So let's find unique angles to bring to the party and make this a real big celebration. And of course, it's also not going to be only about Ghana. But look at the website, it's about 55 African nations. Every single nation has a story to tell. Every single athlete from these nations have, a story to tell. And the only way as a journalist you can get to the bottom of it is when you talk to them before the competition. Just open up and let them know that you are here to sell them. So they should tell you interesting things about themselves. Go on the internet. I know information may be a bit scanty, but talk to the team leaders, get close to them. If you don't know the sport, go close to the technical people, open up and let them see your genuine attempt to project them. And I think this competition is going to be about the best that we've had in this nation in a very, very long time. I want to thank the Sports Writers Association again for this opportunity. And, God bless our nation, Ghana. Make us great and strong. Thank you again.